It was a quiet evening. The sun had just started to go down. 14-year-old Liam was riding his bike home. He wasn't in a rush, just enjoying the cool breeze after a long day. As he turned onto a narrow street, he noticed a group of boys up ahead. They were standing near a small alley, laughing loudly. Something about them felt off. Liam didn't recognize them, but what caught his eye wasn't the boys. It was the girl. She stood in the middle of the group, young, black, maybe 12 or 13. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't laughing. She looked nervous, frozen almost. Liam slowed down. His gut told him something wasn't right. Then it happened. The girl looked straight at him and lifted her hand. She bent her thumb across her palm, then closed her fingers over it. Just for a second. It was fast, but Liam had seen that hand signal before, on social media. It was a call for help, a silent way to say, "I'm in danger." His heart began to race. Liam kept riding, but his mind was spinning. Was that really the hand signal? Did she do it on purpose? He looked back. The girl was still there, standing stiffly. One of the boys leaned close and said something to her. She didn't respond, just stared at the ground. Liam pretended to stop and fix his shoelace. He watched from the corner of his eye. And then she did it again. That same signal. A little slower this time, as if to say, "Please, notice me." Now Liam was sure this girl was in trouble. He felt a lump in his throat. His hands were shaking, but he reached for his phone. He called 911. He kept his voice low, told the operator exactly what he saw, described the street, the group of boys, the signal. The operator's voice was calm but serious. "Stay nearby," she said. "Help is on the way." Liam hung up. He didn't leave. He stayed hidden, peeking from behind a tree. One of the boys shoved the girl lightly. Another grabbed her wrist and laughed. She forced a smile, but her eyes looked scared. Liam's chest tightened. He had done the right thing, but now all he could do was wait. Liam stayed low behind the tree. His heart was pounding. He kept watching the group closely. The boys were still laughing, but now it felt darker. One of them whispered something, and they all looked at the girl. She stood still, not moving. Then one boy grabbed her arm again. Liam felt sick. He clenched his fists. Part of him wanted to yell, but the 911 operator told him to wait, and he didn't want to mess anything up. Suddenly, in the distance, sirens. Liam felt a wave of relief. The police were coming, fast. The group turned their heads. The boys froze for a second. Then, chaos. Two of them ran in different directions. One grabbed the girl's hand, trying to pull her away, but she pulled back. Then something unexpected happened. She ran, not from them, but toward one of the boys, and hugged him, tightly. Liam's jaw dropped. What was she doing? An officer stepped out of the car. The girl shouted, "It's okay, we're just hanging out." Her voice was loud, nervous, and shaky. The boys stood still, not smiling now. The officer looked confused. So did Liam. Had he misunderstood? Was the signal a mistake? Did she just protect the same boys she signaled against? Nothing made sense anymore. One of the officers walked up to the girl. He spoke gently, asking if she was okay. She nodded quickly and said again, "We're just playing." The officer didn't look convinced. He glanced at the boys. They stayed quiet. Liam stepped forward. He told the officer everything, about the hand signal, about how scared she looked, about the way they touched her and laughed. The officer listened carefully. Then he leaned in and whispered, "You did the right thing." Liam looked confused. "But she said it was nothing," he replied. The officer shook his head. "She's scared," he said softly. "She's trying to protect herself. That's common in situations like this." He explained that the hand signal the girl used, it was real. They had been trained to recognize it. They'd had other calls like this before. The girl was from a foster home nearby. She had been missing for hours. She met these boys at a park earlier that day. They promised her food, a place to hang out. But things changed. She got uncomfortable. They wouldn't let her leave. She didn't have a phone. So she waited for someone to notice. And when she saw Liam, she took the risk. She sent the signal. She didn't think it would work, but it did. Because Liam paid attention. Because he chose to act. The girl was taken to safety. She didn't say much, but her eyes said enough. She was tired, scared, grateful. The officers questioned the boys. One of them had a record. Another had been reported before, for bullying, for threats. This wasn't the first time they'd targeted someone. The police thanked Liam. They said his call may have saved her from something much worse. He didn't feel like a hero. He just felt lucky that he saw her, and didn't ignore it. Later that night, Liam couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about her face, how scared she looked, how brave she had to be to make that signal, twice. He thought about how close he was to riding past, to doing nothing, to telling himself it was none of his business. But he didn't. He listened to his gut. He chose to care. And that made all the difference. This story could have ended very differently. But it didn't, because one person paid attention. One boy saw a small signal and chose to act. Sometimes help doesn't come with loud screams. Sometimes it's a quiet hand movement, a look, a feeling in your chest that something isn't right. And in those moments, doing nothing can be dangerous. But doing something, even something small, can change everything. Liam didn't know the girl. He didn't know exactly what was going on, but he still stepped in. That's what real courage looks like. Not loud, not dramatic, just someone choosing kindness over silence. So, if you ever see something that feels wrong, don't look away. Don't wait. You might be the only one who noticed, and your choice could save a life. Learn the signal. Trust your gut. Be the person who cares, even when no one else does. If this story moved you, if you believe more people should hear stories like this, subscribe to the channel. We share powerful, real-life stories that open hearts and open eyes. And don't forget to like and share, because someone out there might need this message today.